The theme that Spirit brought forward within the weave this week is the crucible. And the crucible defined as a severe test or putting the ego through high heat, melting what is no longer serving the core of who we are or the essence of the soul. And Spirit speaks to this as concentrated forces interacting to cause change. So this doesn't necessarily feel comfortable to the human perspective, and yet this crucible is absolutely necessary for where we are going. And the energies that are supporting the crucible that we're going to get into and kind of flesh out tonight are calling our spirits home. And from the perspective of spirit with a capital S, we are not allowing a lot of space within our mental, emotional, and physical bodies for our spirit to flow and live freely. And so, Spirit is going to give us some suggestions tonight how to really align with the larger spirit so that we can feel that sense of joy moving through ourselves. And kind of as the Christos energy always talks about entering the kingdom of heaven as a child, really staying in that pure childlike spirit, which allows us to move into the next theme, which is to be in the world, but to not be of the world. So when we're of the world, we're starting to kind of really let the world become heavy upon us. We might be letting other people's opinions or the collective narrative weigh heavy on us. And that is when we're being of it and not really in it. And we're always, we hear from Yeshua Christ, to wear the world loosely as a cloak around our shoulders that we can take off at any time. And so Spirit's going to talk to us about why that's so important right now and how that relates to previous calls about how we are being asked and encouraged to put our light body's reality first above what the physical reality is showing us, and why that alchemy is especially powerful in the timeline that we are currently in. And Spirit's going to talk to us about how this crucible is actually shedding our identities, and it's stripping our belief systems, and it's causing us to really have faith in the process, because our ability to control our own narrative is not what it used to be. Spirit's referring to this as a collective wake-up moment. And while it's happening over several years of time, Spirit is acknowledging that each and every individual that is following this earth into her ascension is going to experience a plethora of wake-up moments, which are going to help us claim our voice. And we'll talk a little bit later tonight about what's happening to the collective voice and to the individual voice, and why Spirit is strongly encouraging us to step into our sovereignty and to really begin to speak our truths, because it is the human voice that creates the loudest boom across both the physical but also the spiritual and etheric realms.